Welcome to SVG TV News for Monday, May 9th, 2016. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. The 19th meeting of Council for Foreign and Community Relations of the Caribbean Community, or COFCOR, opened here today at the Beachcombers Hotel. In attendance are representatives from new entrants to the bloc, such as Haiti and Jamaica, as well as international foreign ministers from countries such as the Netherlands and Sweden. This comes as requests are being made for the broadening of new ties with the respective territories. SVG TV's Sharon Garraway was in attendance and filed this report.
With the pulsating rhythms of the steel band by Maestro Rodney Small reverberating through the walls of the Beachcombers Hotel, the 19th meeting of the Council for Foreign and Community Relations, COFCOR, opened here today. The two-day event was launched by the Caribbean Community CARICOM Secretary General Erwin LaRocque, signaling for fresh associations and the buttressing of old ones.
In the dynamic and rapidly changing global environment in which the region finds itself, CARICOM must continue to maintain and deepen traditional relationships, even as it builds new ones. The 9th UK Caribbean Forum that took place in the Bahamas 10 days ago confirmed the renewal of interest of one of our traditional partners, the United Kingdom. It has committed to increase its development support to the Caribbean over the next 4 years. More than £360 million in grant finance will be allocated to the region in bilateral program support, including for infrastructure development for eligible countries.
This was further underpinned by incoming chairperson of COFCOR and local Minister of Foreign Affairs and Deputy Prime Minister Sir Louis Straker. Sir Louis highlighted the need for clear policies on foreign relations.
This allows us to collectively coordinate our foreign policy in relation to mutually beneficial partnerships with these states, while reinforcing our position of unity as a regional bloc. Moreover, an assessment must be made of our position in light of the changing nature of the U.S.-Cuba relations.
Outgoing chairperson of COFCOR and Minister of Foreign Affairs of St. Lucia, Alva Batiste, before exiting his post, encouraged regional foreign ministers to be courageous despite the natural and economic challenges of the Caribbean.
These occurrences, notwithstanding, are not insurmountable. And it is definitely not a time for us to fold our arms like defeated soldiers, nor engage in unnecessary jeremiads. I wish to state categorically that we shall not confront those challenges with dread and confusion, but with confidence and conviction. This is a time for us to embrace a collective conscience and summon the moral and political fortitude to confront the turbulent period.
With the meeting at the Beachcombers Hotel in St. Vincent and the Grenadines being open today, there is a strong emphasis that there is strength in unity and danger in discord, and the region is being called upon to continually develop clear policies and to expand regional development. Reporting for SVG Television News, I am Sharon Garraway.
Chairman of CARICOM Erwin LaRocque has expressed concerns over what he describes as the unfair and unfounded classification of the Caribbean by developed countries. LaRocque told the gathering at the 19th Council for Foreign and Community Relations meeting that such classification damages the Caribbean's reputation and ultimately its finances.
The de-risking strategies being adopted by certain international banks, which have resulted in the withdrawal of correspondent banking services from banks in our community, threaten dire consequences for the economic viability of CARICOM member states. In like manner, the constant, unfair and unfounded labeling of the region's offshore financial services sector as non-cooperating tax jurisdictions, which has increased since the revelations of the so-called Panama Papers, also has an adverse impact on that critical sector of our economies. The issue of graduation of our member states due to classification as middle-income countries, which has made it difficult to access concessionary development financing, was exemplified by the criteria used by the UK in the planned disbursement of the grant financing which they are providing.
The chairman also spoke on discussions they had with developed countries such as the U.S. as it pertains to security and energy.
Security were also discussed last week with another traditional partner, the United States, at meetings in Washington. Energy security has been playing an important role of late in the region's relations with the U.S. This issue has taken on a new dynamism since the April 2015 summit with President Obama. During the United States, Caribbean and Central America Energy Summit last week, leaders of the community engaged with the U.S. Vice President and the representatives of regional and international institutions on energy-related issues. At the conclusion of the summit, the U.S. government reaffirmed its commitment to support the Caribbean's transformation of its energy systems, an area in which the community has been making significant efforts. In continuing our outreach, we are pleased to receive the foreign ministers of Sweden and the Kingdom of the Netherlands at this meeting. We look forward to advancing our relationship and to an interesting exchange of views on matters of mutual interest.
And the formal handing over ceremony of the second chair of the Foreign Affairs Minister of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, or the OECS, took place on Sunday, May 8th at the Foreign Affairs Conference Room. Despite the absence of Director of the OECS, Dr. Didacus Jules, the importance of charting the way forward was emphasized. Outgoing Chair and the Minister of Foreign Affairs of St. Lucia, Alvaro Batiste, said he was pleased with their efforts to expand territories through embracing the French island of Martinique, as well as the opportunity to have issues related to climate change brought to the fore.
The Organization of the Eastern Caribbean States welcomed the island of Martinique to its family, testifying to our faithfulness to the process of holistic integration for the common good of the region, united by a sea that represents the great knot of our combined naval strings. 2. History will continue to laud the distinguished efforts of our member countries and the competent technocrats who championed the cause of the small island developing states at the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, the COP21, which took place in Paris in November and December of last year. Our member states were able to get the major breakthroughs that we wanted to allow us to address the multifaceted challenges that we face with regard to climate change.
Batiste further called for closer integration of member states and for them to bond together to address certain critical issues.
As I prepare to hand over the chairmanship of this august body, I will continue to underscore the importance of coherent and structured decision-making processes within the region. I will admonish that our pace towards regional integration must continue to be breathless, and we must continue to address with customary dexterity the myriad of issues that are both infinite and complex within our sub-region. We have ahead of us a whole day of deliberations which will require our undivided attention, as well as focus and frank discussions as we seek to find sustainable solutions to challenges that confront us.
Incoming Chairman Sir Louis Straker called on foreign ministers to be effective. The Deputy Prime Minister said this can also come through a united approach to development.
We must be committed to ensuring that the process of integration continues to be effective and economically and socially viable for our people. The OECS has made vast strides in the advancement of its various systems, acting upon the mandate of the revised Treaty of Basseterre, with the progression of the free movement of persons and free circulation of goods. As we seek to further strengthen our economic union, we must continue to ensure that we do not present disparate voices when we participate in larger organizations such as CARICOM, the OAS, or the United Nations.
Credit unions are people-oriented financial institutions formed, owned, and operated for the single purpose of helping to improve a person's financial position. That's the view of the chairman of General Employees Cooperative Credit Union, Lennox Bowman, as the organization celebrated the opening of a branch office in Canouan on Saturday. Bowman told the gathering that SVG has the highest penetration of credit unions worldwide, and GECU is the largest credit union with membership locally and throughout the OECD. BCS, which makes it a leader in the credit union movement.
So, if the movement is strong in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and GECU is its largest credit union, and if the movement is so strong in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that it has the highest credit union penetration in the world, it means that GECU as an organization has been spearheading not only the credit union movement in St. Vincent, but pushing hard on the other credit unions in the world. So the decision to come to Canouan is a decision where we now want to extend our credit union umbrella to not just the people of Canouan, but certainly all who happen to come and pass through Canouan.
President of GECU, Kelvin Pompey, pointed out that under the previous arrangement, GECU's services on the island were only available for 2 days a week, and that was highly inadequate. And the opening of the Canouan office serves to deepen the relationship his organization has with the people on the Grenadine Island.
At GECU, we have always recognized that easy access by individuals and communities to institutions that offer savings and credit facilities is critical to the sustainable development of those said individuals and communities. Canouan is now a major hub of economic activity and employment. The hundreds of workers, entrepreneurs, and residents who are earning a daily living from this island deserve of financial services that would allow them, after they have worked hard for their monies, to make their monies work for them.
Pompey said that he is confident the residents of Canouan will benefit from the services and products provided by GECU.
Expanding to serve the needs of our members wherever they are. This indeed is an exciting time for your credit union. To residents, workers, and business owners, I welcome you with open arms to the GECU family, to the GECU experience. I'm confident that this new branch and our deepened relationship going to bring about tremendous benefits to residents, employees, and business owners of Canouan for generations to come. Welcome home, Canouan. Thank you.
VincyMass 2016 kicked off last Saturday night with the official launch at Carnival City Victoria Park. The combination of events for VincyMass is dubbed the hottest carnival in the Caribbean. Chairman of the Carnival Development Corporation, the CDC, Dennis Ambrose, says the 2016 festival is expected to be a good one.
As we know it, the day started with the windward and the leeward whistle stops, doing what they do best, bringing a forceful spirit, tremendous energy, and all the vibes of VincyMass 2016, right into Kingston, right into Carnival City. The celebration train, which began from the cruise ship berth to Victoria Park, was an absolute spectacle, showcasing the big floats carrying the winners of 2015, the Miss SVG contestants, and the treasured features of Old Time Carnival. Pan, Mass, and Calypso were also featured, along with inputs from the cherished sponsors. Pan, Mass, and Calypso were also featured.
Representing the Minister of Tourism and Culture was Chief Executive Officer of the SVG Tourism Authority, Glen Beach, who praised the contributors of the festival for making it a successful one over the years.
The government, CDC, we're not the ones that make Carnival great in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. You are. The people are. The musicians, the stakeholders, the mass men, the calypsonians, you are the ones that make VincyMass great. And if I can say this, so far for 2016, I have been very impressed with what I have seen. I think it's some of the best music we have had in a while, and I want to congratulate the soca artists and calypsonians on a tremendous job and a great job that they have done thus far.
Here are some highlights from the launch of VincyMass 2016.
Ready for mass. Time I don't understand. They coming up brave. We're raising the hand. It's like they love the tunes. When them fellas get all in their farm back, I'll simply put it in all your face and say, show them how we get on when they see legal in we are. Everything was show them. We have it. We have it. We going up, we going up, 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 up. Everything in the air. Up, 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 up. Everything in the air. I say we ready again.
The 2016 Miss SVG contestants made their first official public appearance on the stage at Victoria Park, showing off their well-designed outfits and charisma.
Feel the rhythm, embrace the vibe. Welcome to the official launch of the sweetest, most exciting carnival in the Caribbean, Vincimas.
When you can hear the slow, melodic rhythms of the steel pan building to a crescendo of sweet soca and calypso music, you know it's time.
My name is Anya Frederick, and I am elated to be the very first Miss St. Vincent Electricity Services Limited.
I feel dignified to have been sponsored by the Agricultural Input Warehouse, a place that caters to every farmer's needs.
It is with great pride and prestige I carry the banner of my sponsor, Lotto, the main game of the National Lotteries Authority.
With poise, walk with the knowledge that you are a queen. Passion and brilliance. The perfect theme for Miss SVG 2016. Kaiso, steel pan, soca, mass. Can you feel the vibe? Can you feel the heat?
In the Best New Song competition, two women stood out. Aurella Cahalia Beach, she won two of the categories, Soca and Raga Soca, while the Calypso category was won by Cleopatra Hendrickson, who outshone former National Calypso King Grantley Ipa Constance and Kingsley Hero Roberts.
Love and respect and some applause, ladies and gentlemen. Our new winner tonight in the New Song competition, Calypso category. Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight's competition winner in the Raga Soca category, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Raga Soca competition tonight, put your hands together for Cahalia Beach! A round of applause for Cahalia Beach!
Meanwhile, Hits FM DJs and road crew were on the leeward side of the island on Saturday, building up the momentum for the official launch of Vincimas 2016. Here are some highlights from the action on the leeward roads. The St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Music Professionals, or SVG AMP, Songwriting Competition 2016 has now been completed and the three top positions were selected. The competition was part of the SVG AMP GEF Climate Change Project, which is entitled Education to Influence Behavior Toward Climate Change Adaptation. The competition was won by Amanda Gooding of Beckway. The second position went to Adrian Wright of New Montrose, and the third position went to Damian McTeer of Camden Park. The winner will receive an audio and video recording of the song. The second and third positions will receive cash prizes. 19 persons were said to have participated in AMP songwriting competition. Local councillor Edward Smith is of the view that emotional and psychological issues along with peer pressure are responsible for the poor judgment by some in cases of conflict. Smith was a panelist on Sunday's Hits Talk program where the topic of conflict resolution was discussed, looking at what society can do to influence behavior change as well as programs that can be undertaken or implemented to assist young people to successfully handle anger management issues.
One of the things I can say is that difficult life conditions can influence young male aggression, and not just young male aggression, but aggression in people. Hard times, adverse shift in the family torn apart without structure, segments of the society that prey on the weak, economic conditions, anything that's a threat to life and survival and that leads to prolonged deprivation can cause aggression and influence aggression. Then we have psychological needs and goals. People tend to react violently when the physical self is under threat, but people also react violently when the psychological self is under threat. Many people around us try to maintain a good self-concept, and when this is threatened, they can react violently.
Smith says that bystanders during violent acts play a strong role in the outcome of these incidents.
I want to talk about the role of the bystanders. It is the majority who either provide support or denies support for violence. People's support, opposition or governing largely shape the course of events. Therefore, opposition from bystanders, whether it is based on moral, religious or political grounds, can significantly change the course of violence in a community. Violence is usually motivated, whether it be covertly or overtly, consciously or unconsciously, intentionally or unintentionally, by those in government. I mean political governance. No distinction between ruling party here or opposition. You see, people, human beings have a genetic propensity for both altruism or loving or aggression. Look at the nation at the height of a general election. No other time in the history of humankind is a people more hyped such as this.
A vehicular accident on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 8, 2016, on the Lodge Village Public Road left a family of 3 hospitalized. Mother Michelle Sherman, father Carl Roberts, and their son Adam Roberts received injuries about their bodies after they were struck by motor vehicle RV242 owned by Antrobus Rentals on the Lodge Village Road around 9 a.m. The family was said to be on their way home when the driver lost control of the vehicle and ran into them. The 3 family members were taken to the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital where they remain as patients. While the mother and son are said to be doing well, the same cannot be said about Carl Roberts, who is said to be in critical condition in the intensive care unit at the hospital. One resident of Lodge Village told SVG TV News off camera that there is a need for speed bumps on the road so as to prevent future accidents, making reference to an accident in the same vicinity about a few hundred yards away from Sunday's accident about 6 months ago, where a student of Redemption Sharps was killed on his way home from school while traveling in a passenger van.